So, hello people. Now let's talk about something very simple. Why your epic music sounds so stupid? Uh, I will keep short and speak just about one of many aspects. Short answer is that instead of using musical techniques that match what is the true substance of epic stories, you use musical elements. So the majority of the musical elements that you're using, they comes from this universe here. Yes, really like this. So I really analyzed what some people do out there, and it is fascinating. So they are using pop chord progressions and putting just a massive superficial uh, orchestral makeup around it. So it is the definition of a shallow society. So there, where it is supposed to be the substance, and these are the tone relationships. There you have something very poor, and you take this very poor element and you make it very loud and very massive, and with a makeup, with a cosmetic, to appear like this. So the result is something actually pathetic. By the way, I should ask the robot to do a artificial generated image, putting her here, to generate something absurd for you understand how a lot of music out there is sounding. This is like a cancer in the epic and the fantasy genres, and it matches the decadence, also the literary decadence of these genres. Yes, here we could blame capitalism. Then I would agree with you. Here we could blame, but it's not a problem of capitalism. It is a problem of the capitalism without the a substance, a cultural substance. When the capitalism doesn't have the cultural substance, then it starts to be very shallow and very superficial, and we start to overproduce junk. And then we have an overproduction of junk epic. Okay, so we have this. Okay, so makes no sense. Okay, so I was hearing now not bad mixing tutorial, and but the music, it's impossible not to not to immediately start doing a video about this. So I don't know if it is this the progression, but something like. I did this, but I assume there is nothing new here. By the way, it's a cool chord progression, but the problem is that this is oversaturated, my friend. So what I'm playing here, I don't know, by the way, many of the oversaturated chord progressions. Thank God. Although I compose music that has simple chord progressions a lot of time, but here's the hardest point of discussion. This whole thing is to make people understand what is the right simplicity. Let's say it like this: as a type of simplicity that has an aesthetic validation, but it's not this case here. So it is okay, typical aeolic loop. I don't know, I am not hearing the junk music made out there, but I assume that this is more than overused. This chord progression is so overused as her Instagram DMs, okay? So, which color do you want? This. So, but this chord progression is also not the problem, exactly the problem. So I don't want to be simplistically, because you could do something like this. Okay, very bad cadence I did, because I'm already thinking what I have to say. But do you get the point? I did this, okay? But not exactly, no? The whole point that I want to show is that I did more than this. I didn't ignore this as a starting point, because come on, from the very philosophical music theoretic point of view, we can't blame the chord progression. The chord progression is beautiful. It has nothing to do with all the pop junk that we have nowadays, okay? So it is just this, so they have affinity, there is a reason to be. Okay, so first degree, sixth degree, and then you have like a insinuation of C major, then this brings let's say a variety, okay? And the C major leads to D minor, then it gives this charming aeolic feel. So the progression alone is not the problem, but we are not out of context. We live in a society with a certain context and cultural context, and when you play it with certain rhythms and in a certain way, so like this, if everything works here, if something works the way that I want, so you got the point? Pop music. Now, the example that I hear in Epic was not exactly with this swing, but more or less like this. So it's evident the contrast between the epic substance that you are in some sense trying to convey, if you call it epic music, and the cultural associations that you are provoking causing with this. So if you're a composer, you have to be a master of the cultural semantics of your musical elements. Okay. In ancient Greek, but also in the time of Bach, we had certain, let's say, unspoken rules. So you use these chords in these situations with these rhythms for these things. Okay. There was a kind of musical moral, and this has nothing to do with being very restrictive. It's something like if you go to an expensive restaurant today, so I assume I don't know, you take a shower. But perhaps if you go to the McDonald's in the gas station, you don't take a shower. You get the point? So, although today everything is possible, no? It's even hard to quote an absurd example because there are so many absurd things going on that I have to think 10 seconds to find something that is truly absurd. So you can't just ignore the cultural associations of the musical elements that you're using. Okay. It's hard to me to tell you, okay, don't use these chord progression exactly. You see that I found some type of solution, but you have to figure out based on the principles. Okay, and short answer, you need to hire a teacher. So I think it is really like this. It is really like this. So what else can I say? Because it's not like here in a mini tutorial that you get what it needs. Also, if you watch my 300 videos, still not, because the videos, they are informal learning. Okay, they are a complement for what I'm teaching to the students one-to-one. Okay, it's a complement because we always have to seek in a case-by-case basis. Okay. So now the best way to overcome this, of course, is to do a well done course in harmony. Okay. But with someone who can speak harmony. Okay. And what else? Yes, I wanted to talk about what make it sound very pop. For example, here is this the parallel octaves. Okay, and I find fascinating because when I see this progression, I see, if I forget the pop music world, I don't see problem in this musical progression. And then I need to remember how to make it sound so cheap. And it's interesting that it has always to do with the parallel octaves. It's fascinating. It is almost like they chose exactly this. This has a lot to do with the guitar. I think principally if you do like so. So okay, so but in the guitar, it's beautiful because it's the proper way of speaking. So it's the idiomatic way of the guitar, these parallels. And this sensibility you only get with musical education. So now, musical education. So the thing here, so when you want to portray epic elements, first thing you should understand, so epic let me be very direct and upset all the Reddit's moderators here. So it's about virtue, okay? It's not about being a moron, okay, that do whatever he wants without any justification for the conduct, okay, based on reason. Okay, it's not about this. So it's not about being an arbitrary, selfish person that uses rules only to protect a sense of vanity that is very selfish. There is no other interest than the own good. Okay, so now the epic thing is the contrary of this. So you want the highest good for everyone. Okay, and then the central figure of of epic stories are the heroes. So the heroes, they are the guys, and in her case the girls, who see the highest good as their life purpose. So they are selfless. The only element of egoism that they have is their own purpose, but their purpose is given by God. It's just simple like this. Okay, so now you need virtue. So how can you portray virtue if your music it's like this? You get the point? Oops. I think you get the idea what I want to say, no? Okay, so everything that has to do with repetition in music, you have to be careful, because music is actually the art of repetition. See, music is not repetition, and it's not monotony. It is the art of repetition. If you know how to repeat the right way, then you are musical. So, and the one of the best way is the variated repetition. Okay, so you want to be very careful with repetition in music, because there is no point in monotony. So you need a repetition to establish like a musical substance going over time, but you also want to avoid monotony. Okay, and this is also true for the folk music and the pop music still. But when it comes to epic music, you want to show musical virtue. You want to be musically epic. You get the point? I don't care if the other people who are composing in the way that they want, if they get millions of dollars and 10,000 gigs. Okay, the music sucks. I don't care. So from the aesthetic perspective, from the perspective of from the artistic point of view, you might not agree with my point of view, but my opinion has a weight. Okay, it has a weight. So when you come in a perspective that is artistic, there is no point in arguing that my music is good because I earn $10,000 with this, and I have 2 million Spotify plays and follows. I don't care. So I really don't care. So was the Schubert also so famous and the Bach? No. So this is another problem today. So the artistic discussion is very cruel. And people hear what sounds like junk. Okay, they perceive this. Now you can protect your junk with a lot of social proof, makeup, cosmetic. Okay, you can protect a lot the appearance. Okay, but your art will die soon, so it will be not be remembered. So it has, so the artwork needs like an intrinsic architecture to survive the passing of time. So it has to be everlasting, not ephemeral. And it is the musical feature, so that will give the epic artwork this structure. Okay, so then this is, of course, so musical education, and then here you have a lot of things, my friend. So many years. Okay, so need start now if you don't want to regret. So what I see is that many people they the truth is people want to express themselves. The composers, the creative people, they want to express themselves, and when they don't have the the language, okay, they don't have the grammar to articulate their feelings in the music, then so they get actually they get frustrated. They always go to, then suddenly they go to a Beethoven concert and they think like, oh, I would like to compose like this. This is the truth. Okay, very typical case with the heavy metal guys. So the heavy metal guys who don't take classical music seriously, they are always like in the gray zone. Yeah, perhaps. And they start to envy the ones who actually study. So you see, for example, the Jordan Rudess, so the Inge Malmsteen, and these guys, they are like the reference because they studied the background. Okay, so the Blind Guardian. When did Blind Guardian made a huge shift? So in the Summer Far Beyond, then in the Imagination, so other side. So it's when they start to realize the importance of the early music theory and medieval music. So to incorporate a little bit of these elements, of course, but in their own way. And then the Rhapsody comes with a full self-awareness of this element, and they start the band already in this way. And they do one of the last big, like say, inventions in the heavy metal history. So with the true cinematic fantasy genre, they start this way. It's a very interesting thing with the Rhapsody because it's like a retrograde band. So it starts awesome and starts to get worse, and somehow fast food again. I don't know which is the secret for the decadence of these bands. I did a video about this, but it is what it is. So that there is no comparison. Well, everything that they did, there's no comparison with the first album. The Tales of a Twilight, no? Enchanted Land, Symphony of an Enchanted Lands is the second one, and the first one is the Twilight thing. So now I'm tired today. So they realized the importance of musical education, and the harmonic language of the Rhapsody in the first album is fascinating. So, for example, here the song "Flames of Revenge." Nothing can beat a more melodic and well and digestible epic type of music that is pop. It is recording music. It is music industry. You get the point. So, and it is no excuse for a lack of harmonic richness there. So they use the best elements that they can to to avoid a commonplace and to highlight virtue. Okay, I can play the music because of the, if Rick Beato has problems with copyright, I am also going to have. So Flames of Revenge of the Rhapsody. So in the first album, fascinating, very well written song. Flames of Revenge. So everything matches the content. Okay. So when I criticize, I go beyond the musical style. Okay. So I observe other, let's say, transcendental elements, okay, that are beyond the specific style, okay, or even band. So and the other things that they did, as I said, I find not good. But if they do something good, then I say it is good. And Flames of Revenge it is. Because when he sings Flames of Revenge, etc., so the whole melodic thing and also the harmonic content and the energy of the music, etc., it matches the content. In the case of this song, actually, we can trace this back to Handel. It's a more Baroque type of thing. It's Rhapsody is from Italy, no? So it's a very Baroque Italian feel, Baroque Italian feel, and that Handel learned it so well and important to England. No? So it is this feeling of matching the words with music, and this is what you have to observe. Okay. Now this comes after years of musical education. So you learn a little bit here, a little bit there, but you have to start. And I think the best musical education can do is with private lessons. It's not only with me, but you try to find another teacher. But I am one of the few who teach many disciplines. So this is the way to go. Or you go to college, but honestly, all the institutions today, it's a decadence, my friend. It's the sad truth. And principally, if you want to compose this type of music, so I never heard the word virtue a single time in all my study at Mozarteum, and also in my bachelor. So in my music theory degree, in my bachelor in piano, so concert performance, this word here doesn't exist anymore. Okay, this word doesn't exist, and this is why the epic music today is not epic. It sucks. It's just another simulacrum. Okay, what exists is this. So superficiality, Instagram, lack of skill. So probably she paid a ghostwriter or whatever to compose the song. So higher case, the star here is creating something, and that's all. So I think this is enough. So people find my videos long, so then I will do it shorter. So I will stop teaching for free. See you later. Ciao, ciao.